morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope your guys' day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Not your first time here, hi, welcome back. If you enjoy any and all things makeup related, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads, and let's go ahead and let's dive on into today's video. It's finally favorites time. I usually try to do this at the very beginning of the month, and I know we're like a week, it's like a week later than the very beginning of the month. But I definitely wanted to test out a couple of these products some more, so I could definitely, make sure that like what I was putting in my favorites were actual favorites, fails, roundup, things like that. So I definitely wanted to play around. We have a ton of favorites to get through. I have this little thing full, and I've got a couple of things sitting beside me that won't fit into here. So we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to just dive right on into everything, tell you what my favorites are, why they're my favorites, all of that. If you enjoyed this type of video, if you enjoyed the things that I mentioned, anything like that, then definitely give this video a thumbs up, but let's dive in into the products. So the first product right here is the Rare Beauty Setting Powder. I had mentioned this in a roundup before. I feel like I wasn't really able to get a whole lot of use out of this powder, so I wasn't really able to attest to whether or not this was super great or not. It wasn't terrible, obviously. I made it in the roundup, but I have definitely been able to really play around with this powder quite a bit this month. I put this in a This or This video that I did in a collaboration with my friend Joanne here on YouTube, and this was one of the options. So first and foremost, one of the things I love about this is I love the opening mechanism and I love the closing. I feel like this really keeps my powder in there until I want my powder to come out. And that's what I love about, well, that's one of the things that I really love about this powder is, first of all, the opening and closing mechanism really keeps the powder in there, so I'm not losing any powder, wasting any powder, anything like that. The next thing I really love about this really is super nice on my skin. Now my skin is super dry. It is just dry. There is no like dry, maybe combo dry. No, my skin just does not produce any oil. It is just dry. The end. Okay. Dry. So the fact is that this is a nice powder. I can, stamp it in underneath my eyes and it looks good. With a sponge, I can use a brush and it looks good. I usually use a brush and buff it into like the areas of my face where I'm going to be setting a powder. And it just looks really good. This is really nice, really blurring. I think this is a great powder. I think you will also like this if you do produce a little bit of oil. So for me with any powders is usually people when they say they have to touch up during the day, so they need to blot away some of the oil, or they need to, add a little bit more powder where, it started to separate because of the oils. For me, I need to hydrate my face or it starts looking a little bit cakey. So, that's the case with this, but I find that I'm able to wear this for quite a few hours before I need to do that. Whereas other powders, I may have to start touching up within 3 to 4 hours, spraying a really nice hydrating setting spray. That's not the case with this. With this, I can go about 6-7 hours before I'm really needing to like start touching up. And I love the fact that it really blurs the skin. So I really am a fan of this setting powder. Next up is this setting spray from Milani. This is the Milani Replenishing Facial Mist with Blueberry Extract. I love this. It has a fantastic mist. It has it does have a blueberry scent. Like it's not lying on the thing. It definitely has this blueberry scent to it, but I don't find it to be overpowering. So I do notice when I first spray it, I can definitely notice the blueberry, but then it quickly dissipates. So if you're definitely just like not into fragrances like at all, you won't like this. But I do love the blueberry scent. I think it's a very nice blueberry scent, and I love the mister on it. I think it's a great mister. And I also love how it says replenishing facial mist. And I really feel like this is fantastic. As I was stating with the powder, there are powders where I really feel like I need to go in with a setting spray or, replenishing mist, and just to help kind of hydrate and keep things not looking so cakey. And this is one that I absolutely love carrying in my purse. This one specifically, I know they have some other ones from the Fruit Fetish, but I don't think it's a replenishing facial mist. I think those are actual setting sprays. So this is definitely replenishing. So I love to have this in my purse so that I can just spray my face and just touch up when I need to. So this is definitely great if you're needing something like that. Next up is a concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I know this is definitely, some of these products aren't necessarily new. to the market or anything, but I still feel like it's definitely like important to talk about these things, just because like you might, you know, might like be able to get these on sale now or something like that. I still think like if they're favorites, we should talk about them no matter how old they are. So the Too Faced Born Space Sculpting Concealer is a really good concealer. This is definitely one that is a little bit more matte than what I typically go for. I usually, what is going on outside? There's a charter truck in my yard, and I don't know why they're in my yard. What is going on? Okay, anyways, so if I need, now there's a truck in my yard. What the hell is going on? Where was I going with this? If I need to go someplace for like a long period of time, if I am needing something that's going to last or really cover up my dark circles, this is definitely my go-to. I won't say this is like super mattifying, that like it's looking really cakey and gross underneath my eyes. It does have a little bit more of that hydration. I would say like the Tarte Shape Tape is definitely like super matte and is not going anywhere. And if I set it with a powder, kind of looks a little bit cakey. I don't really have that with this, but I still feel like it gives like that good amount of coverage. So I would definitely say if you're definitely wanting to, you know, have a concealer that's not going to like dry your eyes out, but you need something that is maybe a little bit more matte, is going to last a little bit longer. Wow. But also still cover up those dark circles or those like areas on your face that, you know, need a little bit additional coverage. This is great for that. Another setting mist that I love to keep in my purse that is seriously, it's almost gone. Like, look at that. It's almost gone. This is the Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist with hyaluronic acid and goat, hyaluronic and avoine. This is a soothing mist. So again, this isn't necessarily one that's really going to like set and make your makeup last any longer, but it definitely does help the powders really sink in, helps give you a little bit of hydration to your face if you're needing that. This is again one that I definitely keep in my purse as well. The thing is like if I had to choose between like the Milani or the Pixie, I would probably go with the, actually let me compare. Okay. I would probably go with the Milani. The Milani is like $9. This right here is like $15 or $18, and the Milani has 60 mils and this one has 80. So I feel like having 20 extra mils probably doesn't really justify the $5 to $8 more price tag, and I feel like they both work equally well. However, the Milani again has that blueberry scent. This does not. So if you don't want a scent, you want something that's really nice and hydrating, may not set your face because sometimes setting sprays can help kind of mattify things down, I think this is a great option. I also think the Milani is a great option. I love both. So far, this is the one that's really in my purse a whole lot. I'm trying to use this up. Once I use that up, I will move into the Milani being consistently in my purse until I use that up. Next up is this Jaclyn Cosmetics, what is this called? Brightening and Setting Palette. Now, I only am able to really use two of the shades, which are these right here. This is for like the shade Fair. I'm definitely just like the fairest of the fair. So you definitely have this one, which is like a little bit more of like a translucent, pinky, and a little bit purpley as well. And then you have the other one, which is just kind of more of like a banana-ish type powder. I like to like mix these. I really do like these for underneath the under eyes. I have heard some people say that they really don't like this palette. I find this works best by using my sponge and pressing it into my under eyes. I don't necessarily notice that I really care for it a whole lot with a brush, but I do really like to just like have this and just like dab things off and just like press that in. I feel like it looks really good, and this really does help brighten my under eyes. She also has that loose purple setting powder that also brightens my under eyes. And here's the thing, I am so fair, like the fairest of the fair, that it's hard to brighten up my under eyes. There's not a concealer that's ever light enough unless I'm using a white concealer. And there's not really any powders, like even translucent powders. There's nothing that's really super light. And so the fact is that these still look pretty good underneath my eyes and are able to even brighten up my under eyes. For me being as fair as I am, I'm definitely super impressed. So then we have a primer. This is the Juno & Co. Moonshine Miracle Cream. OMG, do I love this stuff. It is like a very, I think you can tell, a very thick cream. doesn't really, it's not like overly scented. It definitely kind of just smells like skincare. So it's not like scented in any way. But again, I have stated I have just dry skin. So if you have dry skin, you're struggling with dry patches right now, this is fantastic to put underneath makeup. I haven't found a foundation or anything else like that that like doesn't go with this and like, you know, it looks pilly or it doesn't set very well. I have not had that happen. I think this goes with almost every single foundation I have tried, and I have a lot of foundations, and I have tried this with a lot of foundations, both matte, both glowy, both dewy, both natural skin, like just whatever. This just works so good. It is nice and thick though, so if you are a little bit more oily, I would not use a ton. If you are you know, a little bit more dry, you know, use a little bit more, and definitely let this set for about 5-10 minutes into your skin before you go in with like your foundation. I found that works like the best, but this is such a great product for my dry skin. I really do like the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base as well. I think that's great, but I really do like love this because this price point is so much better than the Bobbi Brown. The Bobbi Brown full size, which you don't even get as much product in that as you do in this, is like $64, $66, something like that, $62. This is like $20 for like this whole thing. The packaging is nice and luxurious feeling, and all for like $23 or something like that. So overall, I would say if you're definitely into like a really nice hydrating type cream that's going to go nicely underneath makeup, this is great. So then we have my Give Me Glow 9-pan palette. You cannot, this is the highlighting palette. You cannot get this anymore. They've discontinued this. But this is fantastic for just like using just every day. Like I use this for both highlighter. I have used this for, you know, putting some color on the lid. Like just like right now, I will take Sepia Sunflower. Okay, this beautiful, beautiful highlight. And just like tap it onto my eyes. I mean, do you see that? Do you see the difference in like how beautiful and just like shiny those lids are? It's so good. Like granted, there's not a lot of shades in here that are going to work for my skin tone. This is definitely more geared towards if you have like darker, medium to darker skin tones. Like I can use this one and this one. Halo and White Noise. That is about the only ones that I can use for my skin tone. The rest of them I use for like inner corner, I use for like on the lids, but it just like doesn't disappoint. It's so good. People, you know, and I love how big this is. Like look at this. It's bigger than my head. It's ginormous, and it was like fairly priced. It was like $70 for like 9 of these, and you're probably like, that's a lot, but like this thing is huge, and it comes with a nice mirror, like so much different variety. I love this. Another one that I discovered this month is this Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 3 palette. So this was again in this or this. Well, actually it was like the original one and that broke. But then there was this one. And I absolutely love this. So you have these shades right here, which you're probably like, those all look the same. They do, but they all have like a shift to it. So there's like one with a green shift, a blue shift, a pink shift, and like a golden shift. And then you've got some like really pretty like duochrome-esque kind of like shades here. You've got like this like glittery type shade, which is beautiful. Again, you know, look at that. I mean, that's just beautiful. Ugh. And like they feel so soft and so like wet. They feel wet. Like it's wild to me like how wet these like shades feel. I love this palette. I have definitely, you know, dipped into this, you know, to use some of these shades for like eye looks. I dipped into these quite a bit for like inner corners or highlights. Like I've used this quite a bit, and I am honestly very, very impressed. Which I was hoping that I would be impressed because this was like $125. Yeah, that was not cheap. I don't really care for like the fact that there's a glitter in there. Like I honestly probably could have done without that. But the rest of these shades have like some like, you know, shifts and different colors to it. So I really do feel like that's worth it. And I really feel like they're beautiful. So next up is this Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. I have raved about this before. You used to be able to get this at Ulta. I think Ulta has now since stopped carrying Catrice makeup. So, but you can still go on Catrice's website and get this. And I think you can get this on Amazon as well. I think somebody had told me like it's more expensive on Amazon. I don't know. But I know you can go get these like online. They're still really good and affordable. I want to say they were like $9, $10, or $11, something like that. But I love how just like hydrating and nice this looks on the skin. Provides great coverage, has great staying power. It doesn't, you know, get disrupted when I put, you know, layer things like powders or anything like on top of that. I think this is really, really great. It definitely, you know, it's not overly dewy or anything like that. So if you have like super oily skin, I think like this could work for you as well. Just because again, it's not overly glowy or dewy or anything. I feel like this is definitely like a your skin but better kind of foundation, and I really, really do love this. I'm kind of sad that like Ulta doesn't carry this anymore. But I mean, honestly, I would go to Catrice and repurchase this whenever I use this up. It's so good. Another foundation is the Dior Forever Skin Glow. I love this. The only thing that I don't love is that this is rose scented. Of course, if you have like bougie brands, for whatever reason, they think they have to like one up each other on the amount of rose scents they can have in things, and this is no exception. Has a rose scent. This is beautiful though. This is absolutely stunning. I know this is a little bit expensive. It's a Dior foundation. Like, it's Dior. Like, it's going to be expensive. I get that. You can get this during Sephora VIB sale. Sometimes they put things on sale randomly here and there. I don't know if I've ever seen this on sale, but it's also like a really new product, so it probably hasn't been able to be on sale yet, but I have seen some things from Dior be on sale. This is fantastic. I love this. This definitely does give your skin a glow. It does give a very, very nice coverage, a very nice, it's almost like your skin just like looks so healthy. And I love that. It doesn't look like overly dewy. It doesn't look overly foundation-y. It doesn't look like an overly dewy foundation. Like, it just sinks into the skin and makes your skin look very like lit from within and healthy. And I love that. Then we have the Huda Glowish bronzer. I love this bronzer. This is such a beautiful bronzer. It, in a way, like, okay, it's like, this one is like hard to explain. Because it is very much so almost leaning completely matte, but it has like this very like light sheeniness to it where it's not like overly noticeable, but like you also are like, okay, it's not necessarily quite matte, but it's not one of those like I would be like, this is definitely a sheeny bronzer. I can't put my finger on like how to explain this. What I will say though is it is beautiful. The color is absolutely beautiful. For me, this is in One Light. One Light. And it's just honestly the perfect color for me. I like how it's not glittery. It's not overly sheeny. It's literally like, it's like this perfect, it has like this perfect amount of radiance where, you know, it's not like, or it's almost like your skin is healthy, like it's your natural skin, like you're naturally that bronzed and your skin is just naturally that healthy. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard for me to put my finger on, but this is just like the best bronzer and I love this so much. Then we have the ABH Creamy Concealer, right? Magic Touch Concealer. This is very, very creamy. It does have a really good coverage, I will say that. I do still like to kind of color correct, especially right in this area where I definitely have some very prominent dark circles. So I like to like, you know, color correct and put this on. But I love how hydrating this is for my under eyes. Again, my skin is dry and that includes my under eyes. My under eyes are no exception. So I love how just like creamy this is. And my skin looks really hydrated. My under eyes look really hydrated and glowy. And then I set it with a powder and the glowiness goes away, but the coverage is still there. It doesn't dry it out. It's like the perfect amount of like being so creamy and like hydrating that when you put the powder on, it's almost like it's your natural skin. This is phenomenal concealer. This is honestly probably one of the best concealers, that and the LYS, the best concealers that I have tried, not only in 2022, but honestly, probably ever. Another ABH product is the Latte. It's the stick blush in the shade Latte. Honestly, any other stick blushes are good. I ordered like one or two more on the Ulta 21 Day of Beauty. I still need to like film that video of what I bought at the Ulta 21 Day of 21 Day in Beauty and like do a look with that stuff. But anyways, I just keep getting more makeup and it's just like I got so much to review. I need to do that, but I love this. This is so creamy and pigmented, and it just like presses right into the skin, gives you a beautiful color, blends out effortlessly and beautifully. Like my skin looks just like so healthy and glowy. I love it. There's nothing about this that I don't love. I love how easy it is to use, blends up, blends down. The only thing I don't really care for is like this part right here. I don't really think that blends it out the best. I really like my sponge. But again, it's just so, I mean, it's just one swipe and it's just so creamy and just, I mean, blends out beautifully. Like it's so beautiful. Definitely recommend these. I do know that like ABH will sometimes go on sale for like the Ultra 21 Days of Beauty. I don't know. I don't think these were included in there. I think they had like the brow wiz and they had like something else. They had like a palette or something. But I also sometimes notice that like ABH will sometimes like like the brand as a whole will go on sale. So definitely if you don't want to pay full price of these, like, you know, be on the lookout for when these do go on sale because these are so good. And I don't think if you like cream blushes, you'll be disappointed in these. So then we have the Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the cream bronzer in Naked. I love this. I have since like dived. I know it's like doesn't even look like it on camera, but I have really like dived into this. The one thing that I love about this is this is like the best shade for me who is super fair. Like I don't need something super deep or something that's easy to go overboard with. And this is not easy to go overboard with. Like you definitely have to be like really, I mean, packing and applying for you to go overboard. But this blends out beautifully. Perfect color for like my fair skin. Able to be built up and not go overboard super easily. This is just like the perfect cream bronzer. And the thing that sucks is like I think she discontinued them or like it was only released for like the summer last year and like now you can't get them anymore, which is so sad to me because I love these bronzers. I know she like brought them back in stock for like a short time. By the time I realized that was the case, Naked was already done and sold out, and that seriously crushed me with every fiber of my being because I love this cream bronzer so much. I used to rant and rave about the Huda cream bronzer like all the time, but now that I've like, you know, experienced bronzers like these, I've realized that that's like way too pigmented and way too dark, and it's marketed for fair, but that's way too dark for my fair skin. But something like this is perfect. Milk Makeup Bionic Glow. I really love this for a highlight. So the one thing I will say about this is the Milk Makeup is definitely like a very like lit from within type of glow. This is a your skin but better. Your skin, you know, is amped up and nice and healthy. That's what that is. So I really do like that for those days where I'm doing like a very nice like dewy creamy look and I just want to look like I'm lit from within. Whereas the other highlighter that's a favorite is this Fenty Liquid Kilowatt. Mine's in shade 1 Side Chick. I love this as well. But this is definitely going to be one of those. It's going to be able to be more amped up and in your face kind of a highlight. It's not going to be necessarily as lit and within, but I do like both for like different occasions. Like if I definitely want, you know, something that's a little, it may be like a cream look or underneath a, you know, powder highlighter to really amp it up and be like blinding, I will use this. Or if I'm doing like a more intense cream look, like what I have going on in the face right now, maybe a little bit more like punchy and in your face, I would definitely use this cream highlight. I love this. I love them both. I think they are both great. They just provide something different. I have the NYX Plump Right Back with Electrolytes Plumping Serum and Primer. I really do like this. I think this is definitely really nice and really hydrating. I don't really necessarily know. I feel like it does, like, because it's just so hydrating, it makes your skin look plump and supple. And that's one thing I really like about this. This works great under almost every single foundation. I know it's like $17 or $19, which is kind of expensive for the drugstore, but you don't really need a lot of this. You get 30 mils, you get 1 fluid ounce. I've used this quite a few times, and honestly, it barely looks like I've used this at all, just because you don't really need like a ton of it. So I really do like this. I do like the marshmallow one more, but that's just me personally. I have heard a lot of people say they like this one more. Just me personally, I like the marshmallow one, but I don't think you can go wrong with either. I think they're both really good. And again, this definitely is, I feel like the marshmallow one is more like a moisturizer. I feel like this one has a little bit more stick to it. Not like, it's not like the milk or anything like that where it's that sticky, but I feel like this does provide a little bit more of that tack. So if you want something with a little bit of tack but still hydrating, I think this would be great. If you just want hydrating and want something that's like a moisturizer-esque, I would go with the marshmallow. Then I have the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation with niacinamide, allantoin, and it's aloe infused. I love this. This is a really, really, really good foundation. This provides great coverage. I think the finish looks absolutely stunning. There's nothing about this that I really actually hate. Doesn't have like a scent or anything to it. Again, the coverage is pretty good. It's like a good medium coverage, which is something that I personally look for. I don't want full coverage. I will do light coverage, but there are just times where I'm just like, I'd rather have just medium over light or full coverage. So I definitely just like don't want full coverage at all. We'll do light, but medium's where it's at. And this gives me that coverage that I want. Gives me the finish that I want. It's just very, very beautiful. Lasts really well. I did do a video with a wear test and I thought it looked really, really good towards the end of the day. So I was really impressed with this and I'm, continuing to reach for this, continuing to use it. These next two things I'm just going to lump in together. I'm sure you guys are already tired of hearing about these. I bring them up in like every favorites and fails, but they're just so good. So don't get mad at me. They're just good. Give Me Glow liquid lipsticks and lip glosses. The liquid lipsticks are very, very comfortable, very nice and opaque. They have this black liquid lipstick. This is Black Magic. This is my all-time favorite black liquid lipstick. I have tried from Jeffree Star. I have tried Juvia's Place. I have tried Lunar Beauty. I have tried a lot of those and they just either don't provide like the pigmentation that I'm wanting or like it looks streaky, or it provides that pigmentation, but it's just like very drying. This one provides the big pigmentation. It is not drying. It does definitely transfer a lot more than like my Jaclyn Hill ones do. Jaclyn Hill doesn't have a black one, but this is so good. I love like the shade range that they have. They have like 22 colors. I own all of them. I think they're all great. I wish they would expand. I could definitely see a lot more colors that they could have that I would love to own. So yeah, I would just keep recommending these over and over and over again. They're just so nice, so comfortable. You don't even notice that they're on your lips. Like it literally just feels like you have nothing on your lips. So that's one reason why I love them so much. I feel like they wear off nicely. I don't feel like it wears off oddly. Like if you eat something, it's going to like start collecting around your mouth. But honestly, for me, that happens no matter what I'm wearing. Lipstick, liquid lipstick, gloss, lip oil, lip liner, it does not matter. It's collecting over in my little corners whenever I eat something. So, that's kind of a moot point. But anyways, yeah, liquid lips is great. Their lip glosses are also phenomenal. So if you're one of those where you are just like, man, I would really like to wear a gloss that has some like opacity to it, well, look no further. Give Me Glow is the one. I mean, look at that. That's just like one like swipe. Do you see that? The opacity. It has that glossiness to it. And it has that opacity. Like it literally just looks like you are wearing a lipstick with a gloss on top. I love that. I have not really found any other glosses that are like this. The other thing that I really like about these glosses is that over time, once the glossiness kind of wears down, it kind of leaves the color on your lips. It's definitely a little bit more muted, but it's almost like it stains your lips in a way, so it's still there. Like even if the gloss part isn't still there, it's almost like you have like a stain or like a light lipstick on. And I love that. Like I don't find other gloss, like usually the glosses just like wear off. Like they just wear right on off. And with this one, like I've even I can't really tell. I've even rubbed it away, but you can still see like a little bit of the pink. And that was with me like intentionally rubbing it away with like a makeup remover wipe. So just imagine like you're not trying to rub it away and then the gloss part just fades and you still have a color there. I love these glosses. They are so great. They do have a clear one, or like a clear one with like sparkles in it. So if that's something that you're looking for, you don't want opacity, they have that as well. But if you are one of those people, you would love to just throw on a lip liner or just throw on a gloss, but it has opacity to it, that is it. If you're wanting one that has opacity, and then when the gloss fades away, there's still some color there and it's not completely and totally faded away, Give Me Glow is the one. These are fantastic products. I will keep raving about them until the day I die. Just accept it. Next up is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Pressed Face Powder. Mine is in the shade Fair 1. I love this. This is such a good powder. So you can use this as a powder foundation. You can use this as a, it has a little puff. Use this as a powder foundation. You can use this as like a setting powder, set your face. I love this. This is phenomenal. I have used this as a powder foundation. And so shockingly, it looks good. Like I figured, I was like, oh, this is going to look terrible because I have dry skin. No, it actually looked really good. So I liked that this looked really good. I like how good it makes my skin look. Like if I use it as a setting powder, it really looks good. Powder foundation, it looks good. This is just fantastic. And it provides a little bit of extra coverage. So let's say you have like a little bit of like a light or a medium, foundation that you would like to build up, but maybe the foundation doesn't work well building up together, just whatever the case may be. This is fantastic to go ahead, add that extra coverage while also setting your face, or, just using it as a foundation by itself. Fantastic, builds up great. This is absolutely fantastic. This is super cheap, super affordable. And the fact that it's like this good, and I'm raving about this being phenomenal for a dry skinned gal, because I am dry, like dry skin, then this has to be good. So I did do a little bit of like a try on with some of the new Patrick Ta products. There are two that made it into my favorites. And the first is going to be, which you guys have also heard me rave about these religiously. That is the Patrick Ta Blush Duo Trio, Blush Duos, not Trios. There's only two, Carrington. I love these more than life in itself. Let me tell you, this is beautiful. So I'm just going to take like this blush and just add it to my, it's so beautiful. First of all, the blushes have like this, again, this like very just like beautiful sheeniness that I just cannot get enough of. It's seriously so beautiful. I use these all the time. Like literally, I love these. And then you get like a cream. This cream is almost gone. I went to go pick one up at the Sephora VIB sale, and this one was already sold out. And I was like, that's the only one I needed. But anyways, so what I like about these is you can do a number of things with these. You can do just using this. You can do just using this. You could do using this and setting this on top. You can do using this and setting this on top. Sat your face, and I was like, oh, I wanted to use the cream part. Perfectly fine. This goes great over powders. There is nothing about this I don't like. I like how it has like the little flappy thing to keep the two separate, and and make sure they don't commingle. It has a really nice mirror in here. I think that like the packaging is beautiful, sleek, opens up easily, no issues there. Like this is just, these are so good. The last product that was probably in my favorites are these eyeliners, and I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked. I'm not really much of an eyeliner type person. Like I'm just not really much of an eyeliner type person, whether that be in the waterline, whether that be, tight lining, like whatever the case may be. I'm just not much of an eyeliner gal. So whenever I tried this, I wasn't really expecting a whole lot, and honestly, I could have cared less if I didn't really like it. I was just like, I'm not much of an eyeliner person. Not the end of the world. Nope. I love these. Love these. This goes beautifully in the waterline, and it stays in the waterline fantastically. Literally, it's so pigmented. I can just create a line, and it's there. You can see this is in the shade Burgundy, and it is so absolutely stellar and beautiful. I have used this numerous amounts of times, and just the fact that it glides on. It is creamy. The staying power is fantastic. I don't have any issues, messing or fussing with it. Like just overall, it's just like a fantastic eyeliner. I literally am going to, I'm not sure when, like I'm going to pick up more of these eyeliners. I definitely want to get like the nude one, and I really want to get like the black one, maybe the brown one as well. Like I really want to get those. I think those are absolutely fantastic. Okay, this right here is the Essence Shine 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 Wet Look Lip Gloss. These are literally like $3 at Ulta. A $3 lip gloss. I love like the shininess that it gives. I'm going to put some on because this is so good. So juicy. Like my lips look more plumped, more full, just juicy, healthy. I love this. This is $3. Like, you guys can't tell me anything about this. This is a $3 lip gloss from Ulta. Essence is constantly on sale, or buy one get one, or buy one get one 50% off, or buy two get one free. These are great. These are wonderful. Best drugstore gloss, best high-end gloss. It has like that opacity, but it's definitely going, I mean, look at that. My lips just look plumper, healthy, juicier. Like, it's so good. I then did the Trend Mood Volume 15 box. We got some products. I've got two that I love. The first, I know this is in the box. I have the mini. I'm not 100% sure where the mini is, but this is the Caliway Come Hell or High Water Clean Mascara. Love this. This is a tubing mascara, and I actually, okay, I like tubing mascaras because they definitely stay. They definitely are, you know, definitely like resistant to like the water, wind, things like that. So I love that. I love like the length and separation that it gives my lashes. I love like all the things that it does provide for my lashes. I love this mascara. What I also love about this is, like, one thing I hate about the Thrive Cosmetics mascara is that when it comes time to take it off, like, I literally have to take hot water on my fingers and peel them off. This one I can use like a more oily, like cleansing balm, oil, whatever, and it'll come off. I don't really notice that, like, you know, if I'm like crying or anything, that it's like smearing and smudging. I literally just have to take something oil based and then they come off. And I like that more than having to take like hot water and like sit there and dig off my lashes. I like that more. I also love what this does for my lashes. Again, this is a great formula. I love that this is a clean mascara. I love all of that. These are fantastic. So if you're into like tubing mascaras or something that's going to last and stay, but you don't want the hassle of trying to dig off your mascara, this is a great option. The other thing from the Trend Mood box is this Biossance Squalene Plus Omega Repair Cream. This is like a great deep moisturizer. I have used this a couple of different times. And it definitely is a very like thick type of moisturizer. I love to use this specifically on the days I'm using my retinol. So my skin is dry and already irritated, and when I put on a retinol, my skin is pissed. I can't use a retinol more than 2 to 3 times a week. If I do any more than that, my skin is like, I mean, red, inflamed, scaly, peeling. It is awful. But this, if I use this with my, the nights I use my retinol, and I mean just apply this and just really just let that sink in, I find my skin is not nearly as irritated. I still can't make it up to like, you know, 4 times a week. I usually have to do it about 2 times a week, and then like 1 week I can randomly do it 3 times. That's about all I can do with my skin. But this, on the days that I do use my retinol, I find that my skin isn't really as dry the next day, isn't really as scaly, and isn't really as red. So I really do love this for those nights. So then we did the Lunar Beauty collection, the Nude Prism collection. And the first things first that I love from this is this blush palette. I have his original blush palette. I have raved about this. I love the blushes in here as well. I think he did a fantastic job. Comes with a nice mirror, comes with 6 different shades that I think are absolutely stunning. And then the packaging. I think he just really kills it with his packaging, and this is no exception. It's beautiful. There's nothing about this palette I don't like. The blushes are nice and pigmented, blend beautifully. There's some that are a little bit more glowy. There's some that are matte. You know, has that nice mirror. Doesn't feel nice and doesn't feel cheap. Definitely really nice. And then the packaging is beautiful as well. The other thing that I really love from this collection are these lip oils. If anybody is new here, hi, my name is Carrington. I love lip oils. Usually I'm always ranting and raving about the ColourPop lip oils because they're cheap. They're like $8. Sometimes they have sales. You can, you know, whatever, use Ulta points, yada, yada, yada. I think I love these more. I know they're more expensive, but I love like the scents that it provides. They have like a very nice fruity scent. I love just like, and I already got gloss on, but let's just like go ahead and add this too. I mean, this just like glides on so beautifully, so smoothly. It's so nice and hydrating. It doesn't, now starting to collect on my sides. It's now starting to, not feel cakey, clumpy. And again, my lips just look so beautiful and healthy and juicy with this. And I feel like with the other lip oils, like they are decent, but they're just not this good. It's definitely like one of those, like if you ever buy one of these and you purchase like a ColourPop or what, like, a ColourPop lip oil and you compare, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I feel like if I'm trying to like explain these to you through the camera, I feel like you're just not going to like get what I'm trying to say, because lip oil are supposed to be like very like soothing and, like oil like, right? This is just different. I don't know what it is about these that's so different, but it's just very beautiful. This also doesn't wear off as quickly as the other lip oils that I have. I feel like this definitely takes some time for it to wear off, and it's such a good formula. If you know what I'm talking, if you've ever tried this, then you know what I'm talking about, but if not, fantastic formula. Okay, we are finally on to the very last thing that I have to talk about. And that is, we tried the Unearthly Cosmetics Sleepover Collection. So we're going to go ahead and dive on into the products that I love from that collection. Spoiler alert, it's all of them. But first off, we have this lip gloss. This is the Cupid lip gloss. I really like this. It definitely is like very like sparkly, but you don't feel the sparkles. It definitely looks really nice, really beautiful. I have paired this with so many different lips, and it just looks good like each and every time. Like there's nothing about this that like is, too much ever. It's just, it really is a really, really good gloss. I'll go ahead and swatch it on the back of my hand, but it just gives like this very nice, like sheerish kind of pink with like those very like beautiful like sparkles in it. And again, you can't really feel the sparkles, and it just adds just like, I mean, look at that shine. Like just so much added sparkle and dimension to your looks. I really do love this. Again, it's not goopy, not cakey, not crepey, none of that. It's just a very nice hydrating gloss formula, and I love that. The next up are these two little like blushes. So you've got this one right here, which is a beautiful purple. This is the Charmed blush, and then we have the Shira blush, which is definitely like a very like, it's kind of like a pinky purple. But these are two very, very beautiful blushes. I have no issues with these. These don't emphasize any of my texture. They literally just like lay like into the skin and look just like so beautiful and flawless on the skin. Like these are so good. So because of these blushes, I realized that Alien Cosmetics released a face bundle that has like blushes and highlighters. So I picked that up. I picked up the Molten Chromes. I picked up the Leather and Lace palette. I picked up like the single palette so I can put like the blushes and the highlighters in. So I just picked up a whole bunch of stuff online so I could try this out. But I honestly wouldn't have picked any of the face bundle up if it wasn't for trying out these blushes and the highlighter. These are, I mean, I'm telling you, these are so good. It literally just looks like I airbrushed on the blush. It just looks seriously so good. I love these. I love the colors. Like they're definitely not like a lot of colors that like I really have in my collection, especially this shade right here. It's like a very beautiful like lavenderish kind of shade. I love it. It also does provide, I don't know how to explain it. Like it's almost like that Glowish bronzer where it's like matte, but it has like this light hint of sheen, but it's not like overkill. It's not too much, and I love that. I think this is a great formula. This highlighter, I was honestly shocked because I thought just by like looking at this, I was like, oh, this is going to be too dark, and it's actually not too dark, and it's actually a really beautiful highlighter. I already have a highlighter on, but why not do another one? But I just love how like I just like dip into the hair and just, oh, I mean, look at that. It is stunning. Like, stop it. Like cut it out. Y'all remember that from Full House? I mean, it's beautiful. It is blinding. It is beautiful. It's not too dark, and it has like this like pinky purple kind of like golden-ish shift to it, and it's so beautiful. Anytime I'm wearing something like pink or purple, like on the cheeks and eyes. I'm wearing this, like that's obviously not what I'm doing today, but here we are. It's on my face anyways, and it's just so beautiful. And I constantly get complimented on this highlighter. People are constantly like, that's a really pretty highlight color. Where did you get that? And I'll be like, well, let me tell you. Unearthly Cosmetics. Like, go check it out. This is so beautiful. I honestly feel like I need to get a backup of these things because it's so good. Wow. I've literally sat here and talked your ears off, and these are just the favorites. I still have another video to do my fails and my monthly roundup, and I feel like we're also going to be here for a long time. But these are all of my things that like I loved using last month. Let me know some products that you are absolutely loving this month, last month, just like this year. What are things that you are loving right now? Are there any of these things here that you are like, oh, I'm really tempted to pick up now? Or are these things that you're like, I'm going to pick up? Or you're like, you haven't sold me on anything? Let me know all of that down below. If you did enjoy, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell. I do these monthly, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.